Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Happy New Year. I want to wish everyone a very happy and healthy New Year 2021. It actually feels very good to be able to say 2021. So I'm going to do something I rarely do, and I'm going to share with you a portion of what I shared with my insider members this weekend in the weekend market analysis video that I put out for this weekend. And we're going to talk about where are we in the longer term picture. I'm going to focus on the Dow Industrials. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so that's the picture on the ETFs. And let's go ahead and dive in. And I want to go back. I'm going to start off with the Dow Industrials. Let's start off with the daily view. I'll work my way to the monthly view. Then we'll look at that longer term chart that I talked about. The Dow was up 196.92 on Thursday. I keep trying to remember what day am I. Today's Friday, so that was Thursday, closing out the week, sitting here at new all-time high, all-time closing high, and for the week we were up 406.61. So you can see we just continue to slightly push to the upside. Now I'm going to take a look at the Elliott wave picture. This hasn't changed on the daily in terms of what I'm expecting, what I'm looking for in here. Looking to flesh out 5 waves, complete this third minute wave, and we're trying to complete that 5th wave. Now, let's go take a look at the longer term picture. Now, here's the weekly view, and I'm going to convert this to monthly. Now, I may have some little nuances with this, but let's just see. And we've got it on semi-log because of how far we're going to be looking in here. What I want to do to start off with is let's just talk about the cycle waves. So here's the big cycle wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, the biggest ones are 3 and 5. Is it unusual that we're getting this kind of extension on a 5th wave? Not really. It's what I find interesting is that this same exact thing is happening, what happened in the first cycle wave. But first, before I go to the comparisons, let's look at the time frames. This was almost 5 years. Fibonacci, 5 years. Then we come up here for the third cycle wave that completed in January of 1966. It started over here in April of 1942. I think it was 42. Yeah, April of 42. Interesting that the market bottomed in April of 42. In December of 41 is when Pearl Harbor was bombed. And in that spring, I need to go back and look at the date. When we bombed Japan and Tokyo and did that, when Doolittle did that raid and did that, they flew those B-25 bombers off of aircraft carriers, which had never been done before, an amazing feat, and retaliated, trying to strike back against Japan at the time to basically let them know that, yeah, you can hit us, but we can hit you back. And I believe that was pretty doggone close to where this market bottomed in April of 1942. And then we just took off from there. And we went up in a 5-wave sequence all the way up here to January of 1966, about 24 years. Very close to 24 years, just shy. So what's 24? 24 is a Fibonacci 21 years plus 3. So where are we now? We started off here at the end of, in August of 1982. The end of wave 4, cycle wave 4, and we're up here, and this has lasted 38 years and 4 months at the end of December. Okay, so give or take a month in terms of how you actually do the calculation. So what is that? That's a Fibonacci 34 years plus 4. So it's kind of interesting. We have Fibonacci 21 plus 3, 34 plus 4. Yes, it's a little more extended than wave 3. It's longer than the wave 3 that occurred, but it's really interesting. Let's go drill in here for a second, and then I'm going to compare the primary waves. Let's look at the first cycle wave that occurred from 1932, July of 1932 to that high over here in February 37. 4 years and 8 months, almost 5 years. But look at the primary waves. Look at which one was the longest. It was the 5th wave. So a lot of times what you look for in these impulse wave relationships is you look for 3 to extend. The rule is 3 can never be the shortest wave. That is the rule. So clearly 3 was longer than 1, 5 was longer than 3. That's just fine. And a lot of times, once wave 3 has extended, you don't really look for two of these waves, like 1, 3, and 5. You don't typically look for two of them to extend, but they can. Okay, so that's what I think is happening with this cycle wave 3. And so here we had cycle wave 2. Again, bottom like I talked about, April 1942. And then we have cycle wave 3. Now, cycle wave 3, as I talked about, is 23 years, 9 months. And then right in here, here's primary wave 3. Look how long it was. It was the longest wave. No other extension. Okay, but now as we get into here and look at our last cycle wave up in here, cycle wave 5, we've got a long wave 3 in here at 12 years and 3 months. But where are we right now? We're at 11 years and 9 months. Very close to the length of wave 3 in terms of time anyway. Okay, in terms of time. So when you round it, about 12 years, we're very close to 12 years, almost the same kind of thing. And so could we keep extending, longer? It's possible. That's why we start to drill in and take a look at the wave structure in here. So this is, we're looking at these primary waves. Wave 3 here, 12 years, almost 12 years in wave 5 right now. When we look back over here, wave 3, this was almost 10 years in terms of the wave 3, and it was the longest in that period. And then clearly this 5th primary wave was significantly longer and extended as compared to 1 and 3 in that first cycle wave. So yeah, we are in a long period. It's almost 12 years, but that's exactly what occurred right here. And it doesn't mean that we're in some new big bull market by any means. And as a matter of fact, when you look at this monthly, just from a technical perspective, look at the monthly price bars in here. Look at the indicator. Look where the momentum peaked. That is January of 2018. And we have just been chopping sideways ever since. Now you'll notice in terms of the wave structure that I've got in here, I don't think this matters back here all that much. And just from an alternation standpoint, the way we've got this on the Dow Industrials right now for wave 4, this is a big expanded triangle, expanding triangle, okay? And a lot of times what people will look at and say, well, if I have an expanding triangle here, if I had a flat or whatever, well, then I must have a zigzag back over here. Well, there's not a rule that says it has to be the opposite. It's a guideline. So when I look at this and say, well, really, am I going to call this wave 2 just so I have a little zigzag in here? No, I don't think it fits. I don't think a little corrective pattern in here of wave 2 fits this huge corrective pattern that we just experienced here for wave 4. So that's why I am sticking with what I believe was a running flat. Okay, an A, B, C running flat. Why is it a running flat? Because C ended up above the level of wave A. If C would have been down here below A when it ended, we'd call it an expanded flat. That's what we usually see. But when you get a running flat, what does a running flat indicate? A running flat indicates a stronger bull move coming. And that's exactly what we got. Pretty strong wave 3 that happened in here. Now we've got this big wave 4, and now we're fleshing out this fifth and final waves. And you can see how we are just, we're not getting any of it confirmed, at least on a monthly basis. I hope you found that video helpful. And if you did, give it the thumbs up here on YouTube. And if you're not a subscriber, hit that little subscriber button. And if you'd like more of this kind of information, what I'm showing you on the screen is my website. This is actually the insider member view. When you log in, this is the menu that you see over here at joehenches.net. So you get a dashboard, trade ideas page, video, stocks for options trading list, videos that come out, weekday market updates, 4 days a week, the weekend market analysis, and then Ask Joe videos. I usually put out like 1 or 2 of those a week depending on the requests I get for people. People ask me to take a look at an individual stock or an ETF and would like to have my perspective on it. So I'm more than happy to do that. We've got a chart library where I post and update weekly charts. At least that's what I'm doing right now on a weekly basis. An education area, and a resources page. So those are the things that you'll see as an insider member. So come on over, check it out. All right, everyone, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you on the next video.